They met with a whole slew of officials from PACOM, JIGPO, the Department of the Navy, the House of Representatives, the Senate, and even White House representatives. They met with officials like Navy Undersecretary Robert Work, senators like Daniel Inouye, and staffers for Senator Claire McCaskill's office, just to name a few, all in order to spread the word of their white papers, in essence lobbying for the relocation of Marines from Okinawa to Guam.
We wanted to share our point of view on what's happening in the area security-wise and the reasons for U.S. presence and involvement in our area.
One of the underlying messages they pushed is the growing influence of China in this region and how it could affect the U.S.'s strategic interests. They focused on reminding U.S. officials of the price the U.S. paid to win Micronesia during World War II and how much it would cost to regain the region if it were lost.
Micronesia itself covers 2.5 million square miles. It's as large as the United States. It sits in the Pacific, which occupies 1/3 of the surface of the whole globe. No one really knows what resources lie here specifically. We know there are significant oil deposits in Palau. And we know that the Chinese, for the last 15 to 20 years, have been very, very aggressively moving into the Pacific Islands, both north and south of the equator. China's going around the world soaking up enormous amounts of resources because they realize they have about 750 million people in the provinces who want to move into the city. The Chinese government has enormous resources, and this is what we were trying to drive home. Most of the islands throughout Micronesia and throughout the Pacific are very, very small economies. It doesn't take a lot of money to own political soft power, economical soft power, and business soft power throughout these regions. The Chinese Chamber of Commerce in Palau had a meeting, and they invited political leaders from Palau. And the president of the Senate at that point said, well, if we can't, and this is when their president was renegotiating the compact in Washington, if we can't get what we want, we'll simply align ourselves with China.
The Chamber Armed Forces Committee members believe this message struck home with the officials they met in Washington.
We found absolutely no disagreement or negative pushbacks to the white paper message, the underlying message that's contained in the white paper that we presented.
Perez also says that all alternatives of the U.S. realignment in Asia have been deemed unacceptable, which means Guam, for the U.S., is still the most viable option for the relocation of Marines from Okinawa, mostly due to the fact that it is U.S. soil.
Guam is home and sovereign U.S. soil and can operate freely without any diplomatic entanglements.
Although cost is a major concern of the buildup, especially in light of the fiscally conservative climate of Washington and the current U.S. debt crisis, Perez says the U.S. Marine Corps is committed to the buildup. The Japan Defense Minister and Defense Secretary Leon Panetta both reaffirmed the relocation of Marines to Guam as well.
Bottom line is there might be some differences at the margin, and there might be some delays in the scheduling, but fundamentally, the key principle of the roadmap is being maintained.